Hey everybody, Ryan here. Alright, I'm going to go over all the games from the 7th of March 2021. If you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button. I'm at 43 subscribers. I'm 7 away from that 50 mark I'd like to hit sooner rather than later. So please help me out and hit that subscribe button. Alright, other than that, let's get started with the NHL games from the 7th of March 2021. Alright, first game is Buffalo versus the New York Islanders. I feel like this is the third straight time we've seen them play against each other with the exact same freaking result. 5-2 Islander win. Alright, this one, the scoring started in the second period, 5:13 in. Anders Lee's 12th from Jordan Eberle and Noah Dobson. First period, pretty lackluster, but the second is when we started to see stuff happening. That's 6:15 of the second, Brock Nelson's 8th from Oliver Wahlstrom and Nick Leddy. That's 16:56 of the second, Casey Zizekas, 4th of the year from John Gabriel Pageau and Adam Pelech. We're going to the third period, 3-0 Islanders. 5:41 to the third, Jeff Skinner finally scores his first goal of the year. Finally. What is that, 20 or 22 games into the year for Buffalo? He finally gets his first goal. He's finally back in the lineup. That's a positive in and of itself. He got that goal from Curtis Lazar and Casey Middlestat. Another guy who's been really meh so far in his career is Middlestat. Skinner has been good in his career, but this year and last year have been really ugh. Alright, 9:35 into the third. At this point, Buffalo makes it 3-2 game. Colin Miller's third from Jack Eichel and Taylor Hall. Then at 12:57 in the third, Cal Clutterbuck's third from Matt Martin. Then at 17:48, Brock Nelson's ninth. Second of the game from Ryan Pollock. Alright, so multiple point people. Brock Nelson had 2 goals. I don't see any other multi-pointers. And none on Buffalo. Alright, there you go. Alright, so Islanders outshot the Buffalo Sabres 30-26. Islanders beat them in the faceoff dot 57-43. Buffalo 0 for 1 on the power play, Islanders 0 for 2. Penalty minutes were 4-2, Buffalo 4. Hits were 19-18 in favor of Buffalo. Blocks 12-9 in favor of Buffalo. Giveaways 10-7 in favor, Islanders with 10. Johansson for the Buffalo Sabres had the loss, 25 saves, 862 save percentage. And the win goes to Ilya Sorokin, 24 saves, 923 save percentage. Alright, next game is Tampa versus Chicago. And Tampa wins this one 6-3. And I have not found the video for that yet. 9:27 of the second period, Connor Murphy gets a match penalty. I'll see if I can't find it, and I will put the link to the video if I find it in the description. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. Alright, 10:51 into the first, Philip Kurashev, scores his 6th from Carl Soderberg. Then at 15:34 of the first, Matthias Janmark's 8th on the power play from Dominic Kubalik and Patrick Kane. Then in the second period, 3:11 in, Pius Sutter's 8th of the year from Matthias Janmark makes it 3-0 Chicago. At this point, they're looking real good. The dreaded 3-goal lead this year. 3:51 into the second period, Andre Palat's 10th on the power play from Victor Hedman and Steven Stamkos. 4:14 into the second, Yanni Gourde's 7th from Eric Chernak. Then at 7:51, Victor Hedman's 5th on the power play from Braden Point and Andre Palat. Then at 16:55, Tampa takes the lead at this point. Yanni Gourde's 8th on the power play from Anthony Cirelli and Mikhail Sergachev. So it goes from 3-0 Chicago early in the third to 4-3 Tampa going into the third. That was a quick turnaround, wasn't it? 14:25 into the third, Alex Killorn's 6th from Yanni Gourde and Ryan McDonough. Then at 17:25, Pat Maroon's 3rd on the power play from Yanni Gourde and Matthew Joseph. Always good to see Pat Maroon score. I always liked him when he was with the Ducks. I was sad when they traded him. He came out of the blue too, that's what killed me. Alright, Tampa outshot the Blackhawks 39-25. Faceoffs were in favor of the Blackhawks 54-46. Tampa Bay was 4 for 5 on the power play. Sheesh. Not a good penalty kill night for Chicago. Chicago had a power play of 1 for 4. Penalty minutes were 18-10, 18 for Chicago. Hits were 20-15 in favor of Tampa. Blocks 14-10 in favor of Tampa. Giveaways 15-12. Tampa with 15. Vasilevsky would get the win, 22 saves, 880 save percentage. Lankinen 33 saves, 846 save percentage for the loss. All right, on to Florida versus Carolina. All right, Carolina won 4-2. They took over Florida's spot in their division in second place in this division. All right, 15:55 into the first. Vincent Trocheck's 13th on the power play from Andrei Svechnikov and Dougie Hamilton. All right, second period, 4:52 in. Nino Niederreyer's 11th from Martin Necas and Sebastian Aho. Then at 10:41, Florida makes it a 2-1 game. Mackenzie Weegar's second from Noel Acciari. Noel Acciari went from no points like 3 days ago to having 4 points now. 4 points in 2 games for him. Good for him. All right, then 38 seconds into third, Sebastian Aho's 9th, shorthanded from Jordan Martinook and Jacob Slavin. At 3:41, Warren Fogel's 5th from Brock McGinn. Then at 9:09 of third, Mason Marchman's 2nd from Jonathan Huberdeau and Alexander Barkov. Making it 4-2, your final. The Carolina Hurricanes outshot the Florida Panthers 26-23. Carolina outdid them in the faceoff dot 51-49. Florida 0 for 5 on the power play. Carolina 1 for 5. Penalty minutes 12 each. Hits 26-21 in favor of Carolina. Blocks 14-12 in favor of Florida. And giveaways 16-7. Carolina was 16. They won with that many giveaways. Dreiger had 22 saves for 846 save percentage in the loss. And James Reimer 21 saves, 913 save percentage for the win. On to New Jersey versus Boston. Now, unfortunately, Boston had to play without Brandon Carlo in this game. They weren't killed on the ice or anything like that, but they did lose 1-0. Now, I don't think that's a huge difference for them right now, but it may be down the line. I mean, you lost 1-0 to New Jersey. For some reason, New Jersey has had Boston's number this year. If you look at the games they played against each other so far, I think New Jersey has won all but one. Yeah, I believe they played each other 4 or 5 times now. So they definitely have Boston's number somehow this year. It seems to be the only team that first line for Boston cannot get a point against. But no scoring in the first or second. Third period, 15-23, and Kyle Palmieri's 4th from Pavel Zacha and PK Subban. That's all it took. That one goal. Boston outshot New Jersey 40-25. They beat them in the faceoff dot 54-46. New Jersey was 0 for 3 on the power play. Boston 0 for 2. Penalty minutes were 6-4. Boston was 6. Hits 22-19 in favor of Boston. Blocks 13-12 in favor of New Jersey. And giveaways 14-9. Boston with 14. Scott Wedgwood stood on his head. 40 save shutout for the win. Tuukka Rask 24 saves. 960 save percentage for the loss. Rask wasn't bad. He just let in the one goal. That's all. The only difference there was in this game. All right, on to Washington versus Philadelphia. Washington's first game without Tom Wilson. Of his 7-game suspension, he's got 6 left. And Washington will win even without him. 3-1. Philly needs to pick their game up. All right, 11-4 into the first. It started out well for Philly. Joel Farabee's 11th from Sean Couturier. Good start. Went downhill from there. 15-11 into the second. Alex Ovechkin's 8th on the power play from TJ Oshie and Zdeno Chara. 19:44 into the second. Dmitry Orlov's 2nd from John Carlson and Jakub Vrana. In the third, 4:15 in, Nick Jensen's 1st from Nicholas Backstrom. I forgot to see in Backstrom there. Wow. And TJ Oshie. There you go. 3-1 victory for the Capitals. Philly would outshoot them though, 37-27. Philly would win the faceoff dot 56-44. 0 for 1 on the power play for Washington, 0 for 4 for Philly. Penalty minutes 8-4, Washington with 8. Hits 24-14 in favor of the Capitals. And that was without Tom Wilson. Blocks 14-11 in favor of Philly. And giveaways 8-5, Washington with 8. Samsonov will get 36 saves, 973 save percentage for the win. And Carter Hart, 24 saves, 889 save percentage for the loss. Continuing his really pedestrian numbers this year. He looked really good last year and even early on this season. But ever since the early part of the season, he's been really mediocre. It's kind of like John Gibson for Anaheim. He's been started out really well, then went really mediocre really quick. And has not stopped being. All right, on to the Rangers versus Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh would absolutely beat them 5-1. It started out well for the Rangers. Minute 18 in, Mika Zibanejad's third from Pavel Buchnevich and Jacob Trouba. That's it. It would be all Pittsburgh from here on out. 16-13 into the first. John Marino's first of the year from Kasperi Kapanen and Evan Rodriguez. 16:52 in, so less than a minute later. Kasperi Kapanen's sixth from Jared McCann and Evgeny Malkin. That's 17-14. Sidney Crosby's eighth from Brian Dumoulin and Chris Letang. Though the Rangers started fast, they came out of the first down 3-1. No scoring in the second. Third period, 13:57 in. Evgeny Malkin's sixth from Kasperi Kapanen and Marcus Pettersson. Good to see Pettersson getting a point. I still am mad about that trade from Anaheim. Daniel Sprong did nothing for them. Stupid trade. Pettersson's been looking really good for Pittsburgh ever since that trade, too. Kills me. All right, 16:37 into the third. Zach Aston Reese scores his fifth from Teddy Bluger and Brandon Tanev. There you go. 5-1 is your final. There you go. They were even in the shots, 24 each. Pittsburgh won the faceoff dot, 55-45. Rangers 0 for 1 on the power play. Pittsburgh 0 for 3. 6 penalty minutes for Rangers to 2 for the Penguins. Rangers out-hit them 43-25. Blocks were 11-10 in favor of the Rangers. Giveaways 11-4 with Pittsburgh with 11. Casey DeSmith, 23 saves, 958 save percentage for the win. Georgiev, 3 saves, 500 save percentage before he was pulled. Then Kincaid came in, 16 saves, 889 save percentage. All right, on to Nashville versus Dallas. Two teams that are really been at the bottom of this division, and one of the two, if not both, need to really figure this out really quick. And tonight, they both will at least get a point. Nashville will get 2, though. Nashville won this one 4-3 in shootout. All right, Nashville started scoring 15:31 into the first. Michael Granlund's 5th of the year on the power play from Philip Forsberg and Eli Tolvanen. Then at 16:49, Kalle Järnkrok gets his 6th. Then at 13:12, Eli Tolvanen's 5th on the power play from Roman Josi and Philip Forsberg. 3-0 at this point for Nashville. I mean, you'd think that'd be it? Nope. That dread 3-0 lead. Third period, 12:30 in, Radek Faksa gets his 3rd from Jason Robertson and Esa Lindell. That's 14:46, Joe Pavelski's 12th on the power play from Denis Gurianov and Miro Heiskanen. At 19:03, Jason Robertson continuing his great season for Dallas so far. His 4th of the year from Miro Heiskanen and Jamie Benn to tie the game and send it to overtime. No scoring in overtime. In shootout, Roman Josi would get the shootout winning goal and give Nashville the 2 points. There you go. Dallas now has 3 points in the last 2 games, though, so it's something to build on. That's what they need right now. Dallas outshot Nashville 38-20. They were even in the faceoff dot, 50 each. Nashville was 2 for 5 on the power play. Dallas 1 for 3. Penalty minutes were 17-13, 17 for Dallas. Hits were 18 hits each. Blocks 17 for Nashville to 13 for Dallas. And giveaways were 7-5. Dallas was 7. Pekka Rinne, the win. 35 saves, 921 save percentage. And Ottinger, 17 saves, 850 save percentage for the loss. Alright, I forgot to write it down, but there was a fight. 9:41 into the first. Jamie Alexiak versus Matthew Olivier. And this was after Olivier took a boarding penalty, so that started the ruckus, obviously. So, there you go. That's what explains the odd penalty minutes. Alright, let's move on to the next game. Ottawa versus Calgary. The Tkachuk brothers playing against each other again. This one would be Brady's team coming out on top, 4-3 in shootout. All right, 13:48 into the first. Connor Brown of Ottawa scores his sixth from Thomas Chabot and Brady Tkachuk. Brady getting the first point between the Tkachuk brothers early on. 15:56 into the first. Ryan Dzingle's fourth, his second with Ottawa since returning, from Chris Tierney and Mike Riley. Then at 3:41 of the second, Mark Giordano's third from Matthew Tkachuk and Nikita Nesterov. All right, well, the Tkachuk brothers are tied 1 point each so far. And Nikita Nesterov gets his first point since coming back to NHL. 7:09 to the second, Colin White's seventh from Nick Paul and Nikita Zaitsev, making it 3-1 at the end of the second. 3:27 into the third, Johnny Gaudreau's 11th on the power play from Andrew Mangiapane and Matthew Tkachuk. Oh, Matthew took the lead 2-1 in the point area. 12:17 into the third, Noah Hannafin's second from Dylan Dubé and Elias Lindholm, tying the game at 3, sending it to overtime where nobody would score. So in shootout, Drake Batherson scores a shootout winning goal, giving Ottawa 2 points and hurting Calgary once again. But Matthew Tkachuk won the points between the two Tkachuk brothers. Had 2 to Brady's 1. All right, Calgary outshot Ottawa 34-22. Calgary outdid Ottawa in the faceoff dot 60-40. Ottawa had 0 for 2 on the power play. Calgary 1 for 8. Penalty minutes 25-11, 25 for Ottawa. Hits were 19-14 in favor of Calgary. Giveaways blocks 22-11 in favor of Ottawa, and giveaways 8-7 Ottawa with 8. Matt Murray 31 saves, 912 save percentage for the win, and Jakob Markstrom 19 saves, 864 save percentage for the loss. All right, so I forgot to write this one down too, but 2:13 in the second, Austin Watson fought Zach Ronaldo. That's why we have odd numbers in the penalty minutes. All right, other than that, that was the last game of the day. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that subscribe button at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. And make sure to look out because I will have other videos to watch up here showing up on the screen. So other than that, make sure to like, comment, share, and I will see you all next video. Bye, everybody.